Part 1. Neglect and Resentment. Grandma Eleanor had always been a kind and generous woman, but her family never seemed to care. Every visit was met with impatience, sighs, and subtle insults. "Oh, not this again," her son muttered, rolling his eyes as she offered cookies she had baked herself. Her grandchildren barely acknowledged her presence, glued to their phones. Eleanor felt a deep pang of sadness, yet she held her head high. "They don't understand me," she whispered to herself. Part 2. The Care of Aunt Margaret. Among all the family, only Aunt Margaret treated Eleanor with love and respect. She visited daily, helped her with meals, and read to her every night. "I don't know what I'd do without you, Margaret," Eleanor said, tears in her eyes. Meanwhile, the rest of the family grumbled whenever Margaret stayed too long, muttering, "She's spending too much time with Grandma." "It's exhausting." Anger, jealousy, and guilt filled the room, but Margaret never complained. Part 3. The First Climax. When Eleanor's health began to fail, the family finally realized the gravity of the situation, but it was too late. "No, you don't understand." Eleanor cried during one tense argument when her son tried to take control of her finances. She was angry, frustrated, and hurt. Her family's true colors had shown, and it was a bitter revelation. Eleanor, however, stayed calm. She secretly wrote her will, ensuring that everything she owned would go to Margaret, the only person who truly cared. Part 4. The Second Climax. After Eleanor's peaceful passing, the family gathered for the reading of the will. Shock and disbelief spread through the room like wildfire. What? "Everything to Margaret." Her son shouted, his face red with rage. Her daughter's hands shook as she muttered, "This can't be real." Tears of anger, regret, and shame filled the air. Margaret simply smiled softly, holding back her tears. She knew Eleanor's love had been hers all along, and now justice had quietly been served. Part 5. Vindication and Reflection. Life slowly returned to normal, but the family could never forget the lesson Eleanor had left behind. Margaret used the inheritance wisely, helping others and honoring Eleanor's memory. The rest of the family, however, was left with a heavy weight of regret. "We should have loved her while she was alive," they whispered to themselves, realizing too late the depth of their mistakes. Eleanor's legacy was one of love, patience, and poetic justice, proof that kindness is always remembered, even when ingratitude surrounds it.